every single decision that we make and every feeling that we have is actually connected to who and what we trusted and what happened as a result of that. So to me, it's at the core of everything that we do, every single decision that we make. Whether when you're grocery shopping, we're making decisions about whether we trust the products that we're putting in our trolleys and things. It's everywhere. And so understanding what it actually is and how it plays out in our lives, and then what does the Bible tell us about trust, I find the most fascinating thing, and I'm so excited about the fact that I get to share it with you today. So here's how you asked me before, Scott, how did it start? And yes, I've had a lot of trust issues in my life. This is my son, Lachlan. He was almost 10 at the time. So when I had Lachlan, my husband, Matthew, Lachlan's father, when Lockie was 9 months old, Matthew was hiking and slipped off a cliff and died, and left me with this baby. Now, we were very heavily involved in church, grew up in Baptist church in Sydney, very heavily involved in the church and things, and in running Bible studies and youth groups and all sorts of things. And to me, I just didn't understand what God was doing, in that moment. And I had a crisis of faith in that moment, and actually left the church for a while. I didn't leave my faith. I still believed in God, but I didn't understand God. I didn't understand what was going on. And so I went exploring in all different kinds of religions and different spiritual universities and all sorts of things, trying to find answers. And then my son, Lachlan, turned up at Mother's Day. How many of you have got kids? Yeah, quite a few of you. So, kids at school, sometimes they make something for Mother's Day or Father's Day. And so he'd made this card for me, and he came and gave me my breakfast in bed, and he handed me this card very excited. And I don't know if you can read it, but it says, My mum is loving and caring. She likes to buy lots of clothes. She always writes and reads. Sometimes she can keep promises. But the best thing about my mum is she's, always there for me. And I'm not quite sure, we didn't have a dog at the time. I'm not quite sure why he particularly chose the dog with the floppy skin. I thought he might have been trying to tell me something. But aside from that, what do you think jumped out at me? Sometimes she can keep promises. I said to him, what do you mean? What is that? He said, you just don't always keep your promises. I said to him, are you serious? What are you talking about? Give me an example. I thought, he's not going to be able to come up with anything. He said, okay, a couple of weekends ago, you said we'd go to the movies on the weekend, and then we didn't go. And I remembered what happened. We got busy, people popped in, and I said to him, that wasn't a promise. He said, I thought it was. I thought, oh, man, how many times do I do this? And then I thought, how many times do I do that with everyone? It's that, we must do lunch, and we say these things all the time, and my head went into a spin, and I said to him, what happens when I do this? How does this make you feel? And he was sitting on the edge of my bed, and he looked me straight in the eye, and he said, I don't know when I can trust you. Wasn't the nicest Mother's Day present. I think the previous year had made me something out of a toilet roll holder with a little cellophane flame or something. I'm like, couldn't you have just made me another one of those? But wow, this, it was like he just reached in and grabbed my heart and threw it on the floor and, stomped on it a few times. I thought, wow, how did I miss this? It was just him and me. We were really close, I thought. And it sent me on a mission in that moment. I wanted to understand what the heck is going on. How is it possible that I'm just clueless about the fact that I'm breaking trust with my own son? And who else am I doing this with? And maybe we're all doing this. So I went on a mission. I wanted to understand what is actually going on.